Chikli picks up the phone, his voice calm and authoritative. He calls a bank manager and claims to be a CEO and spins a tale about a top-secret anti-terrorism investigation. The manager, rattled by the idea of terrorism, follows every instruction. Burner phones, clandestine meetings, duffel bags stuffed with cash. Incredibly, it works. Chikli walks away with hundreds of thousands of euros, and the seed of a new kind of con is planted. If you're ready to uncover the secrets behind the world's most fascinating cons, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. That way, you'll never miss the next twist in the world of cons, and you'll always be one step ahead of the game. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning. Gilbert Chikli was born in 1965 in Belleville, Paris, a gritty neighborhood known for its immigrant families and streetwise survivors. Chikli grew up watching his father, who was a tailor, and he struggled to provide for a large family. The world around him was one of hustle and improvisation, where quick thinking and a silver tongue could mean the difference between survival and obscurity. Chikli learns early that survival is about reading people, knowing when to charm and when to bluff, and when to disappear. He saw that respect and power were reserved for those who dared to take them. Disillusioned by the rigid class system and inspired by tales of legendary French swindlers, he set out to carve his own path, one where the telephone became his weapon and the world's elite his targets. He grew up watching the rich and powerful move through the city with impunity and decides if the system is rigged, why not rig it in his favor? Chikli's scams evolve. He becomes the godfather of the fake CEO scam, targeting not just banks, but global giants. Disney, American Express, Accenture. His tools are simple: a phone, a convincing voice, and a deep understanding of fear and authority. He convinces employees to wire millions to accounts in Russia, Switzerland, Hong Kong, and China, laundering the cash through a maze of shell companies and fake invoices. But Chikli isn't done. In 2015, he sets his sights even higher. With his partner, he orchestrates a scheme straight out of a spy thriller. They impersonate the French Minister of Defense, complete with a custom silicone mask and a fake government office. On video calls, Chikli asks politicians, tycoons, even religious leaders for urgent financial help to pay ransoms for hostages in the Middle East. The French government, he claims, can't be linked to the payments. The money must be wired discreetly to accounts in China. The targets are the world's elite, the Aga Khan, Turkish billionaire Adnan Karak, and more. Some bite. One transfers over 17 million pounds, another over 36 million. In total, Chikli and his crew scammed more than 80 million from just 3 victims and attempt to con over 150 others. But the higher the climb, the greater the fall. Authorities close in. Chikli is convicted in 2015 for earlier scams, but flees France on a private jet. He's eventually arrested in the Ukraine, found with a silicone mask of Prince Albert II of Monaco, proof he was already planning his next impersonation. In 2020, Chikli is sentenced to 11 years in prison. The world finally sees the man behind the mask, a master manipulator who exploited trust, fear, and the illusion of authority to rob the world's most powerful, all from behind a desk with a telephone. The lesson? Chikli's genius wasn't in the disguise or the technology. It was in his understanding of human psychology. He proved that with the right story and the right mask, even the smartest people can be made to believe the unbelievable. That's the legend of Gilbert Chikli, the man who conned the elite, rewrote the rules of the game, and showed us all just how easy it is to be fooled by a voice on the other end of the line. As the silicone masks are seized and the millions traced, Chikli's reign as the king of the fake CEO scam comes to an end. But what makes a scam like this work, even on the world's most powerful? Here's how Chikli's playbook exploited the deepest instincts of human nature. Let's break down the mechanics of social engineering and how fear and authority can override our best instincts. Gilbert Chikli's success began with a fearless acceptance of human nature's deepest vulnerabilities. As Gabrielle Bluestone writes in Hype, we're all just one good story away from believing the impossible. Chikli understood that no one, no matter how educated or experienced, is immune to the right narrative, especially when it's delivered with authority and urgency. He recognized that beneath the surface of professionalism, even the most seasoned executives are driven by powerful psychological forces. The desire to please those above them, the fear of making a costly mistake, and the hope of being part of something important or exclusive. Bluestone's insight underscores the power of story in modern scams. It's not just facts or credentials that sway us, but the compelling story that fits our hopes, anxieties, and our ambitions. Chikli didn't judge these instincts. He expertly leveraged them, spinning believable scenarios that made his targets want to believe. By crafting the perfect story and embodying the role of a trusted authority, he bypassed skepticism and triggered compliance, proving that, as Bluestone suggests, belief in the impossible is just one story away. Chikli never made direct, suspicious demands. Instead, he masked his intent behind the persona of a high-ranking executive or government official, using plausible and urgent scenarios, like secret mergers or national security threats, to justify his requests. The only successful way by which to make another mind obey a wish of our own mind is to present that command or desire in such a subtle manner that it will be either unconsciously or willingly accepted before it has had time to analyze it and resent it. By framing his requests as confidential and for the good of the company or country, Chikli encouraged targets to act quickly and discreetly, bypassing normal checks and balances. His scams worked because it activated three of the most powerful psychological levers. The first was authority. By impersonating CEOs and ministers, he triggered automatic deference or obedience. Employees are conditioned to respect and follow instructions from those in power, especially when the request is delivered with the trappings of authority: direct phone calls, urgent tones, and confidential context. The next is fear. Scenarios involving legal threats, financial ruin, or national crisis created urgency and anxiety, narrowing the victim's focus and suppressing critical thinking. The last was urgency, the demand for immediate action. Do this now, don't tell anyone. Left little time for reflection or verification, which increased compliance. If your target has time to think about your proposal, your target will more often than not begin to resist your proposal. Blair warned. When authority, fear, and urgency are combined, even vigilant professionals can be pushed to act against their better instincts. The idea that a CEO or government minister would call directly with an urgent, secretive request is deeply incongruous, out of place in a normal flow of business. This incongruity captures attention and creates a heightened state of suggestibility. Things that are out of place, that don't make sense in a given context, or that confuse us will invariably grab our attention, and if exploited properly, will maintain it as well. When attention is captured in this way, conscious judgment and self-awareness recede, and suggestibility takes their place. Chikli's approach tapped into several hidden addictions and deep psychological needs. The need to be needed. Employees felt important and trusted when chosen for a confidential mission by the CEO or a high official. The need to be right. Once engaged, employees wanted to believe they were acting in the company's or the country's best interest, making them more likely to justify their actions, even as doubts arose. Hope and power. The hope of averting disaster or gaining the approval of powerful figures, and a sense of power of being part of a secret operation further clouded judgment and an increased compliance. Chikli's mastery of social engineering was in making his targets feel uniquely chosen, responsible, and indispensable. Chikli's operation followed the classic confidence game formula. The approach: he identified companies and individuals with access to sensitive information or to funds, often using research and social media. The build-up: he used convincing details, official-sounding language, realistic backdrops, even silicone masks to impersonate executives or officials. The convincer: he created urgent, high-stakes scenarios that demanded secrecy and immediate action. The hoorah: he pressured employees to bypass normal procedures for the good of the company or national security. The blow-off: after the transfer, Chikli vanished, leaving victims stunned, isolated, and embarrassed. Victims often rationalize their actions, blaming the extraordinary circumstances or the pressure of authority, rather than admitting that they've been manipulated. Their own desire to do the right thing and to be seen as loyal and competent made them complicit in the scam's success. People sometimes believe what they are told, but they never doubt what they conclude on their own. Isolation during the scam, being told not to consult colleagues, prevented the usual checks and balances from kicking in, further deepening the self-deception. For many, the sting wasn't just financial. It was the humiliation of having their loyalty and their competence used against them. Chikli's psychological success stemmed from his charisma, confidence, and his mastery of authority, his use of urgency and manipulation. His victim's susceptibility was rooted in trust in officialdom, a tendency to obey those in power, and trust institutional authority, fear of consequences, the anxiety of failing in a crisis or missing a critical opportunity, isolation under pressure. Victims were often isolated during the scam, discouraged from consulting others, a desire to do the right thing, the drive to be a loyal, effective employee or citizen. Chikli's reign as the king of the fake CEO scam reveals how easily authority, fear, and urgency can override reason and protocol. By masking his intent, exploiting psychological levers, and feeding hidden addictions, he convinced even the most vigilant professionals to act against their own best interests, all with just a voice and a story. His legacy is a powerful warning about the enduring vulnerabilities in human nature and the high cost of unquestioned obedience. In a world of instant communication and global finance, sometimes the most dangerous weapon is the story you want to believe. What if one man could turn a simple promise into $1 million illusion, leaving a trail of empty pockets and broken dreams across America? Next time, we unravel the astonishing story of Charmel Iris, the master of the advanced fee con, who convinced countless victims to invest in deals that were too good to be true. How did Iris charm his way past suspicion? And why did so many smart people fall for his pitch? Discover the secrets behind his schemes, the psychology of hope and greed, and the high price of chasing easy money. Don't miss this gripping tale of deception, ambition, and the art of the con. Subscribe now so you never miss the next unbelievable twist in the world of con.